Oh, hey, so that video yesterday kind of blew up a little bit. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So if you guys aren't following this Earth 2 shit, I'm not going to recap everything that's going on. There's a playlist on the channel if you guys want to get caught up with where we're at. Yesterday's video, basically, one of their new hires, Tanner Rosankovic, came out and said that the CEO, Shane Isaac, is putting together a $3 to $4 million lawsuit against YouTubers like myself and Sid Alpha. And I put the video out reacting and giving you guys my thoughts on it. And now we have a video from Shane Isaac himself sitting in a room somewhere discussing the current drama going on with E2. Before we get into the video breakdown and discussion of what he said, I first want to discuss the absolutely insane video description here before we get into it. If you guys like the video, leave a like on it, subscribe for more. So Shane Isaac put in his video description here that he's breaking protocols, but he feels that there needs to be some things that needed to be said. Never thought I'd live in a world where an adult could publicly bully a 15-year-old kid and be idolized. He says back to Earth 2 in the path ahead. Definitely some cool things in the pipeline. Enjoy the weekend. So I want to discuss this this bullying of a 15-year-old kid. He's obviously referring to myself covering Civil Contract, which was a game made by Tanner Rosankovic back in, I think, 2017. Tanner is, I think, 18 years old. He is a pathological liar. Some people have said that he told them he was 18 years old a year ago. Nobody really knows how old the kid is. What happens on this channel is I cover a product. I cover a game, and if it's bad, I fucking tell you that it's bad. And everything else that happens after that is a reaction. I covered Civil Contract. The game's alpha demo that they put out was trash, and they were asking like $30 or $40 for a game that was made up of assets and no real work was actually done on it. I covered it. Tanner got butthurt that I covered it, hit me with DMCAs, privacy complaints, threatened lawyers, lawsuits, and everything in between, and I covered the situation as it unfolded. It was a reaction to somebody getting pissed off about an opinion. Does that sound familiar to anybody out here? The bullying of a minor is irrelevant because Tanner actually lied when he put his games on Steam. It's against the Steamworks terms of service to publish a game when you're under the age of 18. So I don't give a fuck about some kid's age. I don't care if a game was built by 1 million people or one person with half an arm tied behind their back. I don't care. The product stands and speaks for itself, and that's what I always start with. That's what I started with Earth 2, Civil Contract, and that's how this channel has always worked. If a 15-year-old didn't want to get roasted on the internet, don't threaten lawyers, lawsuits, and DMCA strikes to try and get criticism taken down. Chalk it up to a 15-year-old being kind of an idiot. Well, all right, sure, fair enough. But turns out he's 18 now, and he's still being a fucking idiot. Let's get to the video.
Hey guys, hope that you're all doing well. I'm not one for the limelight and making personal videos, as you may have determined. For those of you who know me, I prefer to keep my head down and work hard, but on this occasion I thought it necessary to make a quick statement. I'd like to confirm that here at Earth 2, we're focused on developing a platform and a game for the hundreds of thousands of users who have signed up to become part of our dreams and our ambitions and who have supported us thus far. I completely understand that people can be opinionated and skeptical, but as some of you may be aware, there have been a number of unsubstantiated accusations against our company, which include defamatory clickbait titles, thumbnails. Look, we're not a scam. We are not a scam. We feel this is not okay. There are real people involved and livelihoods at stake within this company, and we're thinking outside the box, but as anyone else, we have every right to defend ourselves.
So this first statement about defamatory accusations, us calling it a scam, he obviously doesn't believe it's a scam. I mean, is he going to tell you it's a scam? Who would have thought the guy making it isn't going to call it that? When you have a company selling a metaverse, recreating Ready Player One in the Matrix, and there are actual game devs from the industry who are putting videos and comments out saying that this is impossible. This isn't just YouTubers making clickbait titles. And when you're selling somebody on something that cannot be completed with the limitations that we have in tech, I'm calling it a fucking scam. On top of the fact that some of the people who are covering this game, influencers, when we're told to do research, we go and look at videos of other people who have backed the game, and they're saying it's coming in 2 to 3 years. It's obviously bullshit. I've discussed this enough in my previous videos on Earth 2. Let's keep going into this video.
I mean, we launched 6-7 months ago. We're still here. We're still solving problems. We're still improving our systems. That is a testament in itself.
What systems are you improving? We saw an assetted buggy driving around a terrain, jumping in what looked like moon gravity. What game? What systems? What things are you actually working on? Because in 6 to 7 months, you have shown off so little that I actually can't believe there's so many people that are just defending it to the death.
More recently, it's come to my attention that there was, purportedly, an illegally recorded phone conversation with one of our junior devs. This junior dev was recently hired on a trial basis, and during that conversation, I was quoted by him as making certain comments. From what I've been told, this conversation was illegally recorded without consent, then transmitted to an influencer who has been attacking this young man, and that influencer has since published the recordings to the public along with accusations and statements of his own. I can say there is no lawsuit. We have not even spoken with lawyers in Canada. There's no fantasy amount of $3 million set aside. I mean, the people who believe that are people who believe it because they want to believe it. That's just commercially stupid. And I simply do not talk about, nor do I care about net worth. So it's fanciful stuff. It's fantasy.
So what I will say is respect to him for jumping out and saying that there is no lawsuit pending. They haven't spoken to lawyers in Canada, but he does it in a way as to make it sound like I obtained an illegal recording, when really I'm really confused on why he's not focused on the fact that an employee that he just hired, who is known for scamming, stealing assets, filing false DMCA strikes, among a bunch of other things, is out here telling people that the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company is preparing a lawsuit. I would assume there's some NDAs involved when someone gets hired to a company, and even though apparently Tanner isn't saying the truth here, he's out here spreading false shit about your company that happened to leak out and happened to damage your brand. But yet the focus on this statement is the fact that I published an illegal recording, when it should be the fact that y'all fucked up and hired an absolute idiot. The idea of saying that people believe it because they want to believe it, well, no, that's not true. You have an insider at your company talking about a potential incoming lawsuit. I said in my video that I don't believe a word that comes out of Tanner's mouth, so I can't even verify if this is true. But when someone at a company is talking about a lawsuit, it's not that hard to maybe consider, hey, these guys might be pissed off about what's going on, and they might consider litigation.
The statements made in the audio recording are not accurate.
Okay, so the statements made by an employee of Earth 2 aren't accurate. Got it. Thank you.
We are too busy focusing on the game and the platform, but this, I have to say, is a classic example of where something not true is instantly blown up and presented as factual truth, even when the publishers themselves have good cause to believe that it's likely not true and claim in their own videos that this is likely not true.
So this right here is just a total contradiction. He says that they were published as fact, but then literally a sentence later says that we in our own videos said that it's likely not true. So which one is it? I said Tanner's a fucking pathological liar in my video today and yesterday's video. We know that. Why did you hire him is the bigger question here.
I cannot confirm whether the voice in the audio is the junior dev we hired, and I as I do not know him well.
Now, this is where it gets interesting to me. How does a CEO running a team of, 10, 12 people not know the voice of an employee that they hired? And furthermore, he says that he does not know him well. You don't know him well enough to recognize that that's his voice? How did he get hired?
But just removing ourselves from the picture here for a moment, I'd like to point out the significance of mental health and cyberbullying. We are constantly educated on mental health and the effects of bullying, and publicly we support such motions. Yet, what I see here is people publishing attacks and others openly supporting attacks on a young 18-year-old man who was a minor through most of this 3-year ordeal, having been targeted since he was 15.
So now we fall back on the, mental health, bullying a 15-year-old. Listen, like I said at the beginning of the video, I cover the product and the product itself. It could have been made by a 6-year-old. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to spend $30, $40 on it. And that's what this channel is about. Is the game good or not? Everything else that happens after that is a complete reaction. If you don't like what I have to say, then make your games fucking better. Simple as that. Tanner has been on a vendetta for 3 years, trying to take down this channel, Sid Alpha, Psy Syndicate, as well as many others. Basically, if you don't want that smoke, if you don't like the heat, then get out of the kitchen. Don't threaten us with lawsuits because we said something bad about your game. And for those who want to do just like a little bit of research, you can literally go and search up civil contract on YouTube and you can see the entire saga play out between myself and Sid Alpha. We covered it every time the kid opened his mouth and threatened us with something. There was a video being made. Is that bullying? No. Stop fucking talking. Stop trying to attack us for our opinion. And then we would have just left it alone. It would have been a one and done video. Kind of like Earth too. If the community didn't rise up and start going the fuck off at me, this wouldn't have happened. But you reap what you sow. So you guys made the bed, now lie in it, right?
Now, I don't know this young man well, but from what I have been told is at 15, he made an FPS game, something I would be super proud of my children made, shared it with a YouTuber who eventually published a damaging video about the game and the junior dev, resulting in the developer asking for the video to be taken down from the publisher, and things spiraled out of control from there.
So he says he made an FPS at 15, something he'd be super proud of, when in actual fact, he just downloaded blueprints from the UE4 marketplace and stitched them together. Anybody could do this. That doesn't make him a game dev. You spend $100 and you post it on Steam. Some of the images on his Steam page weren't even accurate to what the game looked like. It was a total fabrication trying to steal people's money. This is not something to be proud of, Shane.
Apparently, some models or assets were used in the game without the correct licensing, and this became the main point of focus. Even if this were true, you have an ambitious 15-year-old kid here. Why not just give him some feedback and let him continue on?
So what you're saying here, just so I'm completely 100% on board, is that because he was 15, he's allowed to steal other people's work, their models, their assets. Now, Shane says apparently, but like our videos have proven that he stole these assets. But because he's 15, we should just give him some feedback and move on. Well, that's kind of what I did in my first video, and then he tried to get it taken down. Like if you're going to talk about this shit, educate yourself. You're the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company who hired this kid. Don't try to spin it in a positive light and try to play the victim like, oh, we were cyberbullying a 15-year-old. The kid stole assets, lied to people, all for profit. And when he got called out on it, he threw a fucking tantrum and threatened lawyers.
Obviously, there are varying levels of maturity at different ages, but I would say that when a young person is targeted online over a number of years from people with tens if not hundreds of thousands of followers, the mental damage and ramifications from such torment is real. It's significant, and it can even be life-altering. I mean, I don't like waking up to defamatory videos about me. I can't imagine how difficult that would be.
I'm not even gonna address the 3 year shit. We've already covered it enough in this video. But Shane, you keep saying that we're defaming you. Saying something is a scam is not a defamatory statement. There is case law that has already set precedent in this matter. You can look up Jim Sterling versus Digital Homicide. You can look up Gawker versus Redmond. Saying something is a scam is not defamation. It has been proven in court.
For a young teenager who cannot defend himself or cannot effectively defend himself over a number of years, and who was just trying to do something with his life.
Trying to scam people, Shane? Just say it, bro. I can see you struggling to defend this scam artist and defend the hire. It's kind of crazy. You guys hired him, but you don't even know his voice.
Now, I'm not a public speaker. I don't have the voice to make a post sound exciting or engaging, but I do like to give talented people who have passion in their line of work a second chance. And what I'd like to ask from all of you guys is to just consider there's another side to the story, and for you to please lay off this young man for a while. Let him get his life back on track so he can begin to revitalize the ambitious nature he had 3 years ago.
Now, I'd agree with you. I'm all about giving somebody a second chance, but let's be honest. This is a game that was put out by Capital Gaming RP Studios on May 13th, 2021, so this is very recent stuff. And a big shout out to MMO Fallout for discovering this. Capital Gaming RP Studios appears to be getting their buddies to write fraudulent reviews for Monogon Echoes. There's 9 positive reviews. 1 was actually bought on Steam. 1 reviewer worked on the game. Several others only reviewed Capital Gaming RP games. Some are literally on his friends list himself. This right here is against the Steam terms of service. So, like, I'm all about giving somebody a second chance, but Tanner is still doing this shit to this day. He did this with Civil Contract. He faked the reviews on that game as well. This game came out a month ago, and he did it again. So, how many chances should this fucking guy have? Look, at the end of the day, this Earth 2 saga blew up a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. However, this whole thing came because the community came at me so fucking hard, and they asked for me to do my research. And now I have some of those same people in my comment section telling me to stop posting about it. Just stop posting about it, Bigfry, and it'll all go away. Fuck you. All the Earth 2 supporters should be asking a lot of questions here. There are a lot of red flags. As much as Shane wanted to get ahead, and I do respect him putting his thoughts out there, there are a lot of things in this video that should make you guys raise even more questions to this studio. How did they hire somebody without actually looking into their background? How do you not know this kid well enough to know that that is actually his voice in the recording, when I've spoken to him, I think, once or twice in my life, and I can verify that it's him. There's videos on the internet of him having conversations with Psy Syndicate. Like, we can verify it. But I think the biggest question you guys should be asking this team is, how do they have enough time to come out and talk about the controversy surrounding the project? But when you guys have questions about withdrawals and when the next phase is coming and everything else, it kind of just goes to the Discord, and that's really about it. The information being put out there from this team, not really cohesive and not really in one spot, but yet they can take the time to address rumors being spread by one of their own while defending him to the death for lying to somebody outside of the company. My name is Bigfry. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video, and I'll see you on the next one.